What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. Oh, playoff edition. That's right. It's the weekend. I hope you're all having yourselves a great Friday night, but that just means it's almost time, baby. So, my God, we're going to wake up tomorrow and be freaking out about the fact that the next day will be game day. So, I really cannot get out of my mind the fact that this team has come so far from all the slander we heard, about Sirianni, Hurts, everything. But 2-5, we weren't running the ball. All the things this team was really struggling with really have improved. And even the defense, I mean, it's had its issues for sure. But let's be real. This team has gotten better. It's developed itself as the whole team, not just the players, the coaches, everything, so I love to see that. But the fact that we're in the playoffs right now, going up against Tom Brady, I can't stress to you enough how awesome that is. So we're going to go through tonight. We're going to do the roster comparison, the matchup advantages. So we'll talk about, each position and who has the, and we're not talking about who's better, but who has the advantage at each position. So we'll go through that. But obviously, before we get into any of that, I'm going to go through, talk about some of the injury statuses for some of the guys on both teams, keep you up to date with everything that's going on before this game gets started. But you know how this goes. Do you have any questions, any comments? You just want to chime in on anything I'm talking about or whatever the hell it is, please feel free to do so. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you hitting that like button. Appreciate you guys subscribing to the YouTube channel. Everything you guys are doing to support me. I truly appreciate you guys. But let's get into this. First up, we'll start with Tampa Bay. Already have a couple guys out. Ronald Jones being one of them, the running back. He will be out with an ankle injury. So he was resting at practice. Didn't know if it would be anything serious, but I guess that ankle was that bad that already ruling him out. But they did get Gio Bernard off the IR. So they'll have some pieces, which we will talk about here shortly. Now, also out for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is Cyril Grayson with a hamstring injury, and they are banged up at wide receiver. So that is a big one for them, actually, whether or not anybody knows who he is. I do, but I'm just saying, not a big name, but somebody that's been helping them out the last couple weeks. But he'll be out. And then they have a few guys that are questionable. You see pictured there, Sean Murphy-Bunting, guy that can definitely, he's their nickel corner, but he can play outside as well. But Carlton Davis, one of the guys that's been starting, he will be questionable for this game. And then Justin Watson, the wide receiver, will also be questionable. So they are definitely banged up in some areas where we can definitely attack. So excited about this, ladies and gentlemen. But now we go on to the Eagles. Questionable for our Birds, unfortunately, is Josh Sweat. The other day we talked about the importance of Josh Sweat to this game, how important it is to get a damn pass rush going. And yeah, well, we could really use Josh Sweat. So that is going to be big news to look out for tomorrow. I will definitely have my eye on that, let you guys know. Please, for the love of God, be available for this game. If not, we will talk about here shortly what the Eagles will do. So, yes, that's going to be one we want to keep our eye on. And then on the offensive side of the ball, my God, in the trenches is where we need to win. And Nate Herbig being out, that's a big one in the middle there. So, next man up, regardless of what's going on, but he's dealing with that ankle injury. So, he is questionable for this game. I am hopeful that he plays, but we'll talk about that shortly here, what the Eagles can do if he is out. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go and talk about this matchup, but the entire roster, the stats, everything that's been going on this year. So feel free to chime in, whatever your thoughts are on this game or whatever I'm talking about. But let's go. This is the roster comparison and the matchup advantages between the Eagles and Bucs before their wild card round matchup. Now we know the head coach, Bruce Arians, Leftwich, Bowles, and Armstrong there. We talked about these guys. Talking about Leftwich and Arians, this offense, the things they have done, second in points behind the Cowboys and in total yardage. But we talk about this game with this weather, with the rain being there. This team predominantly passes the ball. They're first in passing, but 26 in rushing, which is hilarious. You'll see the Eagles here shortly, but they obviously rely on Tom Brady. So banged up a wide receiver, weather not looking great. So that's a little bit of an advantage there. But looking at this offense, we know it is one of the better offenses in the league. They're first in giving up sacks. So we talked about trying to get pressure on these guys. Without Joshua, that's going to be intriguing to see what Gannon will dial up. But you see there, doing pretty good with the turnovers. Tom Brady, still Tom Brady. So let's move on to the Eagles. We know Sirianni, Steichen, Gannon, Clay, and the gang. Well, let's roll it out, baby. This offense with Sirianni, Steichen, the things they've been doing, man. First in rushing, you love to see it. And then almost flip-flop there with the Buccaneers. You see, we are 25th in passing. So we pound that rock, and that is something so beautiful to my soul. So keep running that damn ball, especially with this weather the way it is. But, I mean, that's just how this team succeeds. So love to see it. Keep running that damn ball. 14th in total yards this year, and then 12th in points. I mean, this team really did a lot better than most people expected, but I think the area that gets me the most excited, we talked about this each week, was the fact that not giving up sacks, not turning the ball over, 5th in the league there, not even a turnover per game. You love to see that. So this offense has truly gotten better and better. And honestly, when we talk about the D, they've improved as well. So I mean, this team, they're hot at the right time, and that is exactly what we've been talking about. I mean, that's all we needed. And right now, baby, we just need to go punch them right in the mouth. So let's go. A-H-E-L-E-S. I'm guessing this is Fuji because thanks for coming on last night is the word here. And yes, it was a pleasure for sure. Anytime. I love talking birds, and I love getting excited about these birds. Been trying to get people pumped up all damn year, and here we are getting jacked. So let's get jacked. Let's talk about this, and you know how this goes. We go through, talk about each position, and we're going to talk about the matchup that each one has. We're going to, kind of talk about some things. Don't worry, you'll see here in a second, but let me just also show you something real quick before we do any of that. I want to show you the defensive stats just so you have a comparison of what it looks like. And then when we look at the D, I'll show you again. But here's the Tampa Bay defense we'll be looking at. 3rd against the run. So you keep hearing it. Oh, they're great against the run. Vita Bay. Don't care. Don't care if JPP, Shaq Barrett, those guys are predominantly pass rushers. That's great. I think we can kill them on the outside. They have struggled there. Let's go. I think they're 30th when people run outside the tackle on them. Regardless, 21st against the pass. We talk about that play action. I think we can kick some ass there. I think Dallas Goedert could eat. Devin White has struggled, but regardless, a decent defense. They've got some playmakers out there, but they are banged up. We'll look at them here shortly, but just want you guys to see what the defense looks like. 5th in points given up, though, so that's pretty damn good. Then when you're looking at sacks per game, they get after the QB. We just mentioned, JPP here. Look, that dude's a beast, and obviously so is Shaq Barrett. So we're going to obviously be relying on Lane and Mailata. Love it. Going to be a bunch of great matchups to watch. We're going to be talking about the top 10 matchups tomorrow, so definitely keep your eye on that. But this defense is pretty good. Our defense, on the other end, has had its struggles, but they have definitely gotten better. 9th against the run, 11th against the pass, 10th in total yardage, 18th in points. And look, we actually were doing much better before that Cowboys game. And obviously we were playing our 3rd and 4th stringers. So this defense is actually vastly improved. The only area where we struggle is getting to the damn quarterback. So 31st in the league, that is just horrible, man. So when I talk about going after an edge rusher in this draft, I truly mean it. And some linebackers, some things that will definitely help. But yeah, we need to go after the quarterback here in this game, but you got to be careful blitzing Tom Brady because he can pick you apart. So going to be intriguing to see what we do there. But there you see it. That is, what the Eagles have been doing, not getting many turnovers, not getting sacks. That's not good. So going to need to see a little something different in that department there. But yes, Facebook is ridiculous. I don't know why it makes you do that, but you know it, man. Run that damn ball, baby. But this game will be war. You know it. I'm jacked up. I cannot wait. So let's take a gander here. Once again, you see the list. We'll go through each of these and we'll talk about it. So up first at quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we know Tom Brady. They will hope that it's just Tom because you don't want either of those any guys any of those two playing would be tragic for them. But Tom Brady, let's just hope we can put him on his ass. Never want to see anybody hurt because I don't want excuses, man. I want to beat his ass. I want to see our quarterback, Jalen Hurts, going out there and doing some things. Dude, I think that we know Tom Brady can pick us apart. We talked about trying to blitz him, trying to do everything we can, but we need pressure up front. And, man, we're going to rely on guys like Avery and Barnett. Those dudes need to step it up. And in the middle, you got Cox, you got Hargrave, Williams. Those guys need to feast as well. So going up against a tough offensive line, one of the best in the league, man. So we're going to hope to get pressure. But Jalen Hurts, man, he has, I feel, a much easier task at hand. And look, they've got great edge rushers. They've got a good pass rush and everything. But I feel the way this game is set up with the weather, everything, I think Jalen Hurts is going to go out here and we're going to establish the run. And we know he can use his legs as well. We establish that. Then we get that play action going. You do all that fun stuff you want to do, Sirianni, open up the playbook. But I think truly this Eagles defense, the things, we're going to try to do here are obviously going to be phenomenal. And look, I'd love to say that, the advantage goes to the Eagles here because I think Hurts is going to do a lot of great things. But let's be real here. When you have Tom Brady, that's an advantage. I think that it doesn't matter what the weather is or whatever's going on. That dude can beat you at any time. So we have to figure something out. And if it's just putting up more points than him, we need the offense to step it up. That's obviously in my mind where it's at. I don't think that it really, I don't know if it'll be a shootout because of the weather, but the dude can do anything. But I really believe in Jalen Hurts in this game. And I think in his first ever career playoff game, I think we're going to pull this off, man. I think we get the win. But I'll talk about just the advantage as a whole. Jalen Hurts is actually going to have a pass rush coming at him, whereas Tom Brady, we're going to struggle probably a little bit more. So I just feel Brady's going to have more time, even if his wide receivers are banged up. He's got Gronk. He's got things that he can use here. So I think that obviously we'll give them this one. We'll give advantage to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I don't like doing that because I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a good game. I really think that he's going to go out here and whoop some ass. I really do. So let's hope so. Premier pass rusher. Yeah, we could use that, dude. That'd be great. Really would be. It drives me insane. We talk about how we won the Super Bowl a few years ago and Chris Long, Michael Bennett, we added them. I mean, you need to do stuff like that. So we'll see, but we got to get to the quarterback on Sunday, man. We got to figure it out. Quarterback running game. Look, he hasn't been running the ball as much, and I love that. And he hasn't been passing the ball as much either because we run the effing ball finally. So it's like, thank God we started doing that because it helps his development, but it opens up so many things. This offense is scary to opposing defenses. So I think that he's going to use his legs. He's going to do a lot of things. I think he's going to have a really great game. I'm just saying, looking at an advantage aspect right now, our defense is not exactly something scary. We're not getting sacks. We're not getting turnovers. Maybe we do with the rain. I'd love to see that. I'm just saying right now on paper, that's just kind of what it looks like. So completely agree with you there, though. Snausages, love the name. We're going with 4 running backs. Yeah, I think we actually have 5 running backs on our roster right now, to be honest with you. But we will get into the running backs here in a second. So you see up first, Leonard Fournette. They've got Giovanni Bernard. We talked about him off of the IR. They have Keyshawn Vaughn they've been using. Le'Veon Bell on their roster now. But as we talked about a little bit ago, Ronald Jones will be out. But they have struggled using the run game, but they've also used the run game well. And we know when we I don't like talking about it, but when we played them last time, Leonard Fournette obviously kicked our ass on the ground, in the air. I think he had like 80 rushing yards, 60 receiving yards, something like that. But regardless, Leonard Fournette is a good running back, and we've had our struggles. They're going to use them, but we got to stop the run. Got to stop these guys. I think the Eagles can do that. Like I said, we have definitely improved. I think Gannon and the players have all started figuring each other out and really just working as a unit. So if they keep doing that, let's shut down the run game. I think that, we definitely can. They have not been one of the better teams. And I think that we have a fast defense. And in this rain, I think we can shut them down, man. Now, on the other side of the ball, talk about the Eagles, man. We have got a stable of backs here. So Miles, 100% good to go. Said if he felt like he would hinder this team, he would not play. So Nothing holding him back. He's a full go. He's the guy. He is the workhorse. Let's go. But you've got Thunder and Lightning. Let's use a little Jordan Howard, maybe sprinkle in a little Boston. I don't know if you want to see Kenny Gainwell in there, but use Gainwell and Huntley in the return game. That's why Huntley has been brought up. He was doing some things on offense, but that return game gets a nice spruce in there. And look, we'll talk about at the end there about the return game. But yes, I'm glad to see that. So we got 5 running backs on this roster, and they are the third best team against the run right now when it comes to rushing yards. But I'll be real with you. Don't care. Every time, every week, we've heard something like that, and we have proved teams wrong. Now, when we didn't have Miles, we've had our struggles, and people can say what they want, but I love me some Miles Sanders. So I'm going to go ahead and give the advantage to the Philadelphia Eagles. So I think that Miles Sanders obviously being back is a huge boost, but this offensive line is dominant as hell. So keep pounding that rock, and I think that we can find success here this Sunday. So there we have the first 2. We got it all tied up, but I think that, Howard, Sanders, Huntley, Scott. Yep, that was the list there. Yes, that was Huntley is on the list because he is on the roster right now. So, yep, he's on the roster. Great to hear. Heffer is back. Who? Heffer? But either way, let's get things going here. I want to see, a couple things from the receiving game too. So let's talk about some receivers here. Now, we know that their receivers are banged up. Justin Watson, questionable for this game, as we talked about. Cyril Grayson out. We know Chris Godwin is on the IR, but Mike Evans was good to go at practice. He'll be ready for this game, so we got to try to shut him down. They've got Tyler Johnson, who is a promising young man. Rashad Perriman was brought back. He's been doing some things. Got to watch out for Scotty Miller. I'm sure they're going to sprinkle in there, use him in the slot, and then Jalen Darden, who could get you in the return game and maybe in the receiving game as well a little if they have to. But I think, no, I know they did. They added John Brown the other day, I remember, to their practice squad. So maybe he gets brought up for this game. We shall see what the injuries are actually looking like tomorrow, but definitely keep you up to date with that. But on the other hand, and look, these guys, Mike Evans, it's going to be a great matchup to watch. Darius Slay, definitely going to be one of my matchups to watch tomorrow. We'll talk about. So I think that, beyond that, this defense has definitely improved. And I think that these receivers, without Chris Godwin, I think it's not going to be the same thing. But hey, Mike Evans can kick your ass at any time. So we'll keep our eye on that. But the Eagles receivers, we talked about the injuries to the corners on the Bucs, and I think that's huge. We're definitely going to keep our eye on Murphy, Bunting, and Davis because they're going to be the starters. If not, they're going to have some struggles. We'll talk about that when we get into the defense. But these young receivers, it's time to step it up. Reagor, Watkins, that would be great. But I think Devontae Smith is going to have his way with whoever it is, whether they're healthy or not. Whoever's playing, whoever's not, doesn't matter. I think that in this game, and if it's real sloppy and rainy, you're probably not going to see too much in the past game, but I'd love to see some red zone, throw them up, let them go get it, toe tapping in the end zone catches. That would be beautiful. And Devontae Smith, dude, he's been showing it all year. So let people hate whatever, dude, but this kid is phenomenal. I think he's going to do some work. And I think Jalen Hurts, that's the difference this year. We tried, or this game, we tried earlier in the year to just keep throwing instead of establishing that run. I think we pound the rock, open up that play action, everything else you want to do, your screens, all that great stuff. I think that these young guys could have a big day. So we talked about Reagor the other day, and Quez Watkins used that speed as they tried to in week 6. But I would love to see some connections here, even if it is sloppy. I would love to see some play action bombs. We shall see, though, what this game exactly looks like. But I'm going to be 100% real with you guys. I think with all their injuries to the receiving core and the corners, I'm giving the advantage to the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll be real with you. I know that it's a young group, and I know that a lot of people are down on them and this and that. But look, they're developing. They're still very young. And I'm still very hopeful that, the Eagles add someone in free agency, maybe in the draft, and you really fill this wide receiving core out because it's missing some pieces. But that's fine. Right now, we're doing what we can with what we have. Then I love it. And look, Arcega-Whiteside's on the IR. Oh, God, what are we going to do? I don't know. Maybe we bring somebody up. Maybe John Hightower, maybe Keyshawn Johnson, maybe Deion K. I don't know what the Eagles want to do, but I think those three, that we first mentioned, and Greg Ward definitely gets some too. I think that we can get things done if we have to in the air. So let's go. Let's go, Jalen Hurts. I think I'm pumped up. But Miles Sanders, hell yeah, I'm pumped up too. Sorry, I didn't know what the heck what was going on there, but hell yeah. I love it either way. But dude, I'm so pumped up to have him back. And dude, Howard seems to be good because he didn't look right in that Washington game, but pumped up. That's why he wasn't being used too much. Smart thinking. Yeah, and that's what I was just saying, man. So get them involved. Let's go. So establish that run, open things up. And I think, dude, with the injuries they have and everything, we got this. Richard Sherman on IR. Come on, man. We got this. Now, one big piece you're going to have to watch is Rob Gronkowski, and not just Gronk. They have Brate and they have Howard as well. And the first time we played them, I don't believe they had Gronk. So, man, Brate did some work on us, I believe. And actually, I think Howard had a bigger game than him, if I remember correctly. But either way, Gronk is back, and that is who you're going to really need to watch. So watch out for that 12, 13 personnel because, they use that as well. So this is going to be very intriguing to watch. I would really be intrigued to see how we can shut them down. Now, we have used our safeties, our linebackers, corners, everything we can. We run a hybrid zone scheme. So we do things, and I'm telling you, we have actually shut down some of the better tight ends. Travis Kelce. I mean, we have really done well, but obviously we've had our struggles against guys like Fabian Moreau too. So you never know what you could get, but it's going to be intriguing to see. I think that the way this defense has been playing, and with their receivers out, they're going to be trying to get the ball to him. So let's take him out, man. Let's really take him out of the game plan. I'd love to see that. Now, the Eagles, on the other hand, Dallas Goedert, tight end 1. He was not here week 6 playing in that game. So I'm pumped up to see him. And unfortunately, Tyree Jackson to the IR now. But Richard Rodgers being brought up, he'll be ready for this game. Jack stole a little bit of 12, a little bit of 13 personnel, especially if it's raining. Let's get that done. I've been begging for it. We've finally been seeing it the last couple of weeks. So keep running that. Let's get that ball. We talked about Dallas Goedert's matchup with Devin White. I think that's going to be a huge one to watch because Devin White has definitely been struggling in coverage. And it's weird because the dude's awesome. So this is going to be fun to watch. I think Dallas can have his way. This is going to be awesome. But I'm going to be real with you, talking about who has the advantage. I really think that we do. I really think that because of our run game, the way things are, and look, I know it's Tom Brady and Gronk. I get it. I really do. But that's really what they've got going on. And I just feel with this weather, it's going to take a lot of that away. That's just the way I'm looking at it right now. And this is just a talking point. So keep feeding me your thoughts on it. I'm just letting you know how I'm looking at it from a perspective of what I see right now. But moving on to the offensive. Well, hold on. We got ourselves a couple comments. Let's take a gander here. Take advantage of their weakness. Dude, they've got so many weaknesses in that secondary that I think you have to. And look, their line is back and they're healthy there, but you still got to run that ball. When we talk about running outside the tackles, using a lot of play action, using a lot of misdirection, I think we're going to be all right. I think Nick Sirianni's really learned since the last time. So we'll find out. Gannon's audition, if he's trying to move. It's not even really about that, man. Anybody is looking to move up in the world, and I think he would love to get a job, but I'd love to see how he could grow with the way, he wants to run this defense. I understand the idea, but a lot of the players don't work. So it's like, if we could get some studs in this draft, which I believe we will, 3 first-round picks, 10 draft picks, I think this is going to be exciting. So I'm not against him staying, man, but I want to see how he does against Tom Brady. So tough test ahead, man. But yeah, Drew, agree with you. This is a great auditioning tape for him. But we'll see. Now on to the offensive line. Like I said, they themselves have quite the offensive line. Donovan Smith, Marpet, Jensen, Cap, and Wirfs. This is quite the bunch there. And I'm not going to lie to you. We talked about giving up the least amount of sacks. We are 31st getting the sacks. So we're going to have to get creative. I'll be real with you. But like I said, with that sloppy rain, maybe we can make things happen, man. I'm really hopeful. But bring the house at him if you have to. But it's so funny because you say that, but it's like Tom Brady blitzing him is not exactly a smart idea. So we'll see, man. You got to find ways to get pressure. And I think Fletch and Hargrave guys just got to step it up. You got to get creative with the play calling, misdirection on defense, man. So let's see. Now, our offensive line, I think that, ooh, baby, I think that these guys really, what this comes down to for me is I think that the Bucs, clearly when it comes to the pass rushing attack, they have themselves an advantage there. But when it comes to run blocking, these guys kind of built the offensive line for Tom Brady there. Not saying they can't run block, but not exactly the best run blocking team. So, and I'm not trying to say they're not good at all in any way, shape, or form. What I'm trying to get at is who has more of an advantage here. I think in a game like it's supposed to be, sloppy in this weather, this Eagles line is built for that. See, we're built to run over you. And this team is, dude, we're a juggernaut. So you see here, Nate Herbig questionable. We've got a bunch of guys on the IR there, but Sua Opeta, dude, next man up, whatever, dude, whoever it is, Jack Anderson, maybe, I don't know, but Landon Dickerson maybe move to right guard, and then you move Opeta to left guard. I honestly don't know what the move's going to be, but if Nate Herbig's healthy, clearly you want him starting at right guard. And I think that the Eagles, man, just really have a great opportunity with the way this storm's supposed to be coming through on the East Coast, and it's not supposed to snow. Obviously, it's supposed to rain in Florida, but it's going to be getting that aftermath, just that rollover of that storm. So I just really think that it's going to be a sloppy one, and this offensive line is going to feast. And I think when you look at the other side, when we talk about their line, their defensive line now, it's built to pass rush. And look, Vita Vea, he's pretty much aligned just to stop the run. So they've got a piece to stop the run. Do not get me wrong. I'm just saying that this team as a whole, we don't just run up the middle, so you avoid him. You run up tempo when Vita Vea goes off the field because he does not play every snap. So run up tempo, do what you can. But in the end, I'll be real with you. I just feel that the Eagles can't be stopped. And I'm not saying that we have the better offensive line. Yes, I am. But I think that in this advantage, in this matchup right here, I just feel that we are built for that kind of weather, that sloppy run game type of game we want to see. That's the kind of fight we want right now. That kind of makes us feel like a home game, right? So I'm all about that. I think, I'm sorry, but the Eagles get the offense. They have the advantage there for me. That's just the way I see it. I know that things can definitely get wild here. The Buccaneers have a great offense, but I'm just saying, for me, that's how I see the advantages. Let me know your thoughts down below, how you see the offense. Where do you see the advantages? Let me know your thoughts. But now we're going to move on to the defense. You guys saw the offensive stats. I'll breeze through these quick. On defense, you see there a pretty good defense. They make some things happen as well with turnovers and things like that. So I think that we got to watch ourselves. And, with our defense, we've gotten pretty good at the bend, don't break kind of thing. We're learning some things, starting to get some turnovers, but one of the bottom barrel teams there when it comes to getting sacks and turnovers there. So you don't like to see that, but hey, with this weather, maybe we can make some things happen. But let's take a look at these defenses here. And I think that, once again, this defense is improved in my mind. I just think that clearly we're going to need to step it up. So first, we'll start with Tampa Bay. We talked about Vita Vea a million times, and let's not forget Ndamukong Suh there. So he's still got a lot to tank. Got to watch out for him. Got Golston, McClendon in there. And I really think that you want to try to avoid them in a lot of times, but don't just avoid it altogether. You still got to, keep them on their toes, man. Keep them guessing. So let's see if we can do that. But quite a formidable force there in the middle. And then on the outsides, man, they run this 3-4 hybrid Todd Bowles scheme that, a great mind, and he's going to be ready. He's going to have some things for Jalen Hurts in this offense. We're going to see, but they're going to be trying to get after him. We're going to hope that Mailata and Lane can do their thing, man. We know how awesome they are. But Shaq Barrett, JPP, it's going to be a tough match. So I can't wait to watch it, but I think our guys can definitely take care of business. We know how badass they are. And you saw my tweet earlier this week. One thing people forget is we didn't have Lane Johnson the last time we played him. And we didn't have, because we had to put Mailata at right tackle and had Diller at left tackle. So didn't like that move, but we had to do it. But it is what it is. I think, from that point, then Dallas Goedert wasn't there either. So I think just right there, that gets me excited. But either way, that is the line for Tampa Bay. Now let's take a gander at the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line. And in the middle there, we talked about it. We got to get that force moving in the middle there. So Hargrave, Cox, Williams, get things moving. I think we can. I think we will, actually. I'm actually really excited. I think one of those guys is going to have a big game. Maybe Milton Williams steps it up, but I'd love to see Fletcher get him some. He's really been doing well, especially with this change of a defensive scheme. And then on the outside, we talk about Josh Sweat being questionable. So if he is not playing this game, then you're going to see more Barnett, more Jannard Avery, and obviously Avery playing a different role out there. He and Patrick Johnson sharing that outside linebacker role. But I think, Kerrigan, Jackson, whoever is getting in there, man, they're going to have to step it up big time because they have got themselves one of their toughest tasks ahead. So Avery's been killing it, though, man. And Barnett, even with the stupid penalties, man, he actually had a decent season at times. I still think we got to move on. But look, I think he had a good season, and I'd love to see him step it up like he did against Tom Brady before. So please do that, because nobody gave you hope last time that, you saw them in the playoffs. Well, saw him in the playoffs. So get after it, man. Let's go. But, when it comes down to it, I really think that this Eagles team, I have hope that we can try to get after Tom. I have hope that, Gannon's going to do his thing, fire some things up. But I'll be real with you. I'm giving the advantage to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because it's not that I think that our offensive line isn't awesome and they're not going to maybe one sack gets given up, maybe two. But I think that they just have a tougher task. I think the advantage goes to having much better players, Vita Vea, Sue, and I try not to go with the better roster, but when you're looking at it, it's just they have the advantage because they're so much better. And if we're missing Sweat against one of the better offensive lines that we struggle regardless with, I feel got to give the advantage to Tampa Bay on that one. So we got them on the board again. So yeah, look, I just feel that way right now, and we'll see how it goes. But let's move on to the inside of the linebacking core. You got Devin White in there, and we talked about his struggles, but still one of the most athletic, better linebackers in this league. So got to watch out for him, a playmaker. Then Kevin Minter filling in for Levante David on the IR. You got Britton Stewart who can come in for depth. But look, some decent linebackers here, but they've had their struggles. And I think that we definitely, with our run game, our tight ends, we should be able to take advantage of the middle of the field, do some things. Not really worried about it. I'll be real with you. Now watch it come back to bite me on the ass, but I just feel like people are a little more afraid than I am, and I think that we can attack them there. Now, with the Eagles, look, talking about the linebackers, their matchup, I think with the rain the way it is, faster linebackers, TJ Edwards is a beast against the run. Alex Singleton has his mishaps, but love the dude. Obviously, he probably wouldn't be starting if whatever, dude. Who cares? I love what he's doing right now. Sean Bradley getting in there, doing his thing on special teams as well. Sucks that Taylor's on IR, but got to do what you got to do. I think that we talked about them being 26 against the run, or 26 in rushing. I think that we have gotten better against the run, and we just need to shut down Fournette, Bernard, whoever the hell it is. Don't care. Make Tom Brady and them one-dimensional. And with it being sloppy, and like I talked about, I think that we truly can make them one-dimensional. I really think that's going to hurt them with this weather. And this is seriously nuts. And this is not saying that we have better linebackers. This is just saying that I feel in this game we have the advantage because their linebackers are going to have a hell of a time against the number one rushing attack with one of the better tight ends in the game. So it's going to have their hands full as to what their assignments are. We'll see how Todd Bowles uses their linebackers there. But I really think I'm giving it to the Eagles right there. I know that's wild as hell, but we're hot right now, baby. And I'm just feeling with this weather. I'm just feeling it right now, man. It's where my head's at. It's where my head's at. And I'm sticking with it, man. It's all I try to preach here. Just try to give you the facts. So I hope that the Birds could do these things. What you never know, especially with the weather, man. There could be all kinds of issues. I'm sitting here talking about how much I love we don't turn the ball over. Dear God, let's not let that happen. So now let's get to the secondary, close out this defense here. Talk about, Carlton Davis, the third, and Sean Murphy-Bunting. Those guys are supposed to start with Sherman out, but those guys are both questionable. So the cornerbacks would actually look like Jamal Dean and Pierre Desir starting with some Cockrell, Delaney, Robinson, however they want to use those guys. But You got Davis, you got Bunting down there, both questionable with Sherman on the IR. So that will be huge for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll see how they try to. That's going to be tough. I really think these young receivers should be able to get some things going. Now, the safeties, Antoine Winfield did not play last time we played them. So that's going to be somebody that's a playmaker that's going to benefit having them on the defense. I think that we could still get away with doing some things. Jordan Whitehead, an underrated safety, not one of the best, but hey, he's pretty decent. So they've got some good safeties there, Edwards and Adams for depth. But I think that these receivers and tight ends should be able to do some work. Now going on to our secondary, Slay, Nelson, Maddox, they have all, they've been just stellar. And honestly, whether it be play calling or whatever's going on, there's been some issues, but I think these guys have been awesome. And I think that it's BS that Darius Slay didn't get it, named to the All-Pro team. So congrats once again, actually, to Lane Johnson and Kelsey on that. But BS that Slay didn't get in there. What a phenomenal year he had. But going to be a great matchup to watch with he and Mike Evans. If he can shut him down, these other guys can get things done against these younger receivers. Can't wait to see it. And then the safeties can try to do some work on Gronk and whoever else is throwing at him, Brait or Howard or however, Giovanni Bernard out of the backfield, whatever you got to do. McLeod, Harris have been playing much better together. Cannot wait to see what this defense brings to the table. But Kayvon, Epps, whoever's getting thrown in there, Sasha Ray's been kicking ass on special teams. But keep it up and let's try to pull this off. But I'll be real with you. I think that the Eagles really, really, have a tough matchup ahead of them. But with the injuries to their receivers and just the way things look, I honestly feel like our defensive backs have a much better advantage than their defensive backs do with our young receivers and our tight ends who have actually been starting all year. All these, I just really feel that we have an advantage here, guys, with this weather. And I think that this is our kind of game. And man, I cannot wait to see what we bring to the table. But let's close it out with the special teams. We never leave anybody out. But they've got Suck Up kicking. They got Pinion at punter, Schreiner as their long snapper. Talked about Darden earlier in the video. Maybe some Scotty Miller in the punt return game. Maybe they bring up Barner for the game. We shall see. But I don't know why Bernard's still in there. But regardless, he's off. We'll see who they use in the return game. But Elliott's been kicking ass all year. Sipos has been great. He's had his moments, though. Rick Lovato back there, the long snapper. He's been phenomenal this year. So love the special teams unit here. And then the return game, man. Love the fact that we brought Jason Huntley into the return game. Use him. Keep using him. And maybe you want to sprinkle in Gainwell, too. That's fine. Put 2 returners back there. They've continued to use Reagor and punt return, and he has had some pretty good punt returns. So I just want to see some big plays in the return game, however it needs to get done. Maybe they use Watkins, Ward, Scott. They've used them a couple times, but I highly doubt it. We shall see. But I'm really excited, and I think we could see some big returns in this game. I think that the advantage is honestly going to the Eagles here. So you see it here, ladies and gentlemen, 7-2 in the advantage department. That doesn't mean that, we're just going ahead and whooping the hell out of them because it looks like that. But with the injuries they have and just with everything else just going on, that's just the way I see it going out. So that was it, ladies and gentlemen, your roster comparison and matchup advantages. Let me know how you're feeling about it, whether you're watching right now and you want to let me know down below before I get heading out, or whether you're watching this later. Please feel free to comment down below. Always down to talk some birds. So how are you feeling? Where do you think the actual advantage is for you? Where do you think the top advantage is? Tomorrow we'll be back with the top 10 matchups to watch. So stay tuned for that. But hope you enjoyed the show tonight. I truly appreciate all of you guys. Appreciate you hitting that like button, retweeting, whatever you're doing, subscribing to the YouTube channel. Turn that little notification bell on, little ding-a-ling. Truly appreciate you guys, but I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be doing top 10, and then literally it will be game day. I cannot believe it's coming. Tom Brady going to get his ass whooped by the Philadelphia Eagles again in the playoffs. Jalen Hurts' first ever career playoff game. You heard it here first. We've been talking about it all year, and it's finally time. I cannot wait. So let me know how you guys are feeling about this game down below. As I said, if you're watching this later, you can always feel free to comment. If you guys need anything, whether it's talking about birds, you want to talk about life, always extend my hand because I mean it. Reach out to me if you need me. I appreciate the hell out of you guys. I really do. So have yourselves a great rest of your Friday night. Stay safe out there. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And as always, go Birds!